This is a video recording of a cycle ride I am making from the City Hospital in the north of Nottingham to Lady Bay across the River Trent in the south, going right through a direct route as possible, the city centre. So I'm joined a shared bus and cycle lane, and then just slowing this down to show the blue sign on the left. I'm still supposed to be in the shared bus lane, and then the other sign on the left there is I'm supposed to be sharing the pavement with pedestrians, but there was no dropped curb to do that. There's one there. So apparently I'm supposed to be on the pavement at this point, but I'm afraid I missed that. This is the major junction with Valley Road, Ring Road, which I'm just going round up to join Hucknall Road. Now I think I'm supposed to be on the pavement still here all the way on the left hand side rather than on the road, because just coming up where this runner's going, I'm supposed to be cycling. Now I'm slowing it down. There you are, there's the stop line for a cycle to join the road again from the pavement. And then we continue up Hucknall Road on the shared bus lane. Bus lane's now disappeared completely. The cycle lane's obviously vanished. And going up to the junction with Perry Road. Just stopping at the red lights. And continue along Hucknall Road on an intermittent shared bus and cycle lane. You can see the bus has to pull past me. I'm keeping well out of way of the car open door zone on the left of all the parked cars. I'm going to turn left now into Hayden Road, which is a residential shopping street. We've got a 20 mile an hour speed limit along here, as you can see. Lots of parked cars right over hooked up onto the pavement. The open door car zones quite difficult to do along here. There's someone who's getting in his car and someone overtaking me at the same time. There we go. 20 mile an hour zone apparently still. And I'm just coming up to the junction with Mansfield Road. Mansfield Road is the major direct route into Nottingham City Centre from the north. So I'm just approaching the junction now, stopping at the red light, and I'll be turning right onto this busy road, Mansfield Road, and in a minute I'll be joining another shared bus and cycle lane, which is only in operation in this direction towards the city in the morning, 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. Otherwise cars can use both lanes round the parked cars, past a police car, and joining the bus lane again. You can see this is it's 2 lanes in both directions, but with a restriction of the inside lane being bus lanes. That's bus lane only, bus and cycling lane only at certain times. Continuing down Mansfield Road until we get to the junction with Hucknall Road. I enter the ASL, the Advanced Stop Line box, and continue up Mansfield Road towards another big roundabout near the Forest Recreation Ground. And on my left I will be joining another shared bus and cycle lane. There's no provision at the moment for cycling along here at all until we get on into this bus lane. The bus lane comes straight up the hill without any stop lines for the roundabout. It's buses and cycles only. And then I'll just freeze the frame here and show you what you are supposed to be doing here. You're supposed to now, as a cyclist, get to the junction through on orange. Across the junction there's a little white cycle painted on the pavement. You'll then cross on the toucan crossing, toucan being pedestrian and cycle crossing, and then I don't know what you're supposed to do here. There's some pedestrians there, but I went back onto the road. I notice on the left you see that little cycle marking with the car parked over the cycle lane on the corner there, so couldn't use that. Don't know why it was there anyway, to be honest, but we're now going down North Sherwood Street, and it's a 20-mile-an-hour low traffic neighbourhood LTN council recommended route. This is one of the recommended routes for safer, quieter cycling through the city. As a low traffic neighbourhood, it's supposed to have lots of traffic calming and sort of restrictions for through traffic, and it is actually pretty quiet, although I am cycling during COVID, semi-restrictions of COVID. And we get to the bottom of North Sherwood Street, and this is where it becomes interesting again what you're supposed to do. I've no idea here, so I just walk up onto the pavement and I'll just show you that sign, that blue sign. You're supposed to go across that bit of pavement here as a bike. You then, can you see, cross the crossing where the bikes are onto the pavement with the pedestrians. Somehow, you then ask to go over another junction onto the island there, look left, and then I think join the highway again, and it's a bus and cycle lane. And we're approaching the city centre here, going up towards Lower Parliament Street, and on our left is the Corner House complex, and on our right is the Theatre Royal in a minute. And we're just approaching the left turn onto Lower Parliament Street. Just get into the worn out ASL, and wait for the lights. And this section, I believe, is for buses and cycles only. There's certainly enough buses to share the road with here, and I'm pretty soon going to come up to another set of lights, and I want to go straight over. As you can see, there's no cycling provision at all, no protected lanes, no even painted lines, no ASL even actually. So I get myself in front to be seen, and over the junction and down Lower Parliament Street. Now what happens in a minute is extraordinary. The road continues down to the left, but I have to get over to the far right of this, at the right hand lane, and then you can see suddenly appears a cycle lane for 3 meters, and I'm supposed to take a right across the pavement here, stop at a give way sign, stop for the bus, good idea, and then go into the Lace Market. Now this is the most direct, quiet route through the city centre now. There's no other way as far as I can see. But I get up Broad Street and I can't go left, it's no entry. I can't go right because that takes me back round to Parliament Street where I've just been. So I guess I have to go through here, but do I have to get off? I have to keep left, as a little cheery sign says. No, I know I can't go through that, I've checked that, yeah, and that's the wrong way. So I've got to go down Broad Street. So I get off my bike, and it's a very nice street cafe, pedestrianised area, everyone's relaxing. I'm just walking along here now and wishing I had a beer in one of the cafes, and just pushing my bike along here. As a delivery driver, cyclist, and very pleasant in the sunshine. We're in the old Lace Market area of Nottingham. Trendy shops and bars and cafes, and then I get to the end of Broad Street and I want to turn right up Goosegate, which is an official cycle lane. I'm not sure what it is on Broad Street, but I know I'm going to join a cycle lane. Now up Goosegate, you can see in a minute on the left there will be a little contraflow cycle lane, so don't go right, nip in there. This actually, I think is it a two-way cycle lane or one way, but anyway it's a contraflow with the rest of the traffic, and the cycle lane takes me up to the junction and just leaves me there. I now have to join Fletcher Gate and the tramworks, which is really dangerous. I now have to cross the tracks at an angle probably greater than 45 degrees so as not to get my wheel stuck in the tracks. The far left hand side is far too narrow to hug the curb there, so I'm taking the lane all the way down, adopting a primary position past Nottingham Contemporary Art Gallery on the left. Now this is interesting, see the blue sign on the left here? That's a work of art in itself. So there you go, it says to avoid tram tracks, take this left across the tram tracks onto a shared pavement, and then I'm apparently supposed to proceed down here on the pavement, dodging various bits of furniture and people. I'm sure they love the idea of me cycling down there, and I'm going down this, I'm guessing, temporary pathway, which is still a shared route until we get to this section here where it says cyclists dismount, which I do. And so this is now taking me to Canal Street. I've gone pretty much through the city centre now, and I'm approaching the train station, so I'm going round this temporary path, and I have to cross the pedestrian crossing. Yeah, it's just a pedestrian crossing, not a toucan crossing, and go up onto this street, which is Trent Street. And Trent's at the end of Trent Street here, lots of taxi rank here. Along here I am allowed to go right through the pedestrian zone of Station Street. This is a recommended cycle route, and so this is coming up to the end of Station Street. The station is on the left there. I'm just negotiating my way through this area, and then I will join Carrington Street and turn left. There's a bus and cycle marking on the road, so I'm sharing the road with the bus. So there's a little cycle lane appeared, and I get to the front to the ASL. Over the junction, painted cycle line, dotted white lines, until we get to a little ramp where I'm supposed to go up the pavement. There we go, onto the pavement, shared pavement. And now here, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do, but I go across the tram tracks, and I want to turn right into Arkwright Walk, which is a recommended quiet way for cycling. So I don't go left along Meadows Way, I'm crossing over into Arkwright Walk, which is the way I came up to the City Hospital. That's in another video. I'm going along Arkwright Walk, and over the pedestrian shopping centre zone, which is the shopping centre's on the right, and into a 20-mile-an-hour quiet street, which again is recommended by the council for cyclists. It's got chicanes, it's got different surfaces for traffic calming, and it's very pleasant. It feels safe, and it's away from the pollution, and it's quiet. But not for long. I'm now going to join a major junction to get over the River Trent. So I've got to go across 4 lanes here. Take the left hand lane up to the lights. This left hand lane is for buses and cyclists, and I'm keeping left as I come up towards the Trent Bridge, which is the major crossing of the River Trent from the south. A big urban area, stop here for the lights. Big suburban area just to the south of Nottingham, West Bridgeford, and there are only 2 bridges. There's Trent Bridge and Lady Bay Bridge. Trent Bridge is the bigger one, has 3 lanes of traffic each side. I'm keeping the primary position here because it's so narrow, so I'm in the middle of the road so I don't get squeezed against that temporary barrier that's been there about 5 years, and I'm just having to go with the traffic, which goes up to about 40 miles an hour sometimes across the bridge, and keeping the lane so I don't get cut up by cars going left, and I'm turning left into Radcliffe Road myself. And there's the famous Trent Bridge cricket ground on the right, overtaking all the parked cars, and coming up towards the traffic lights with the A52. So past the McDonald's. It's now a 40-mile-an-hour zone here, no protected cycleways, no painted lines for cyclists, nothing. Got to be careful of a hard left here, which I go in the primary position so I don't get cut up by people turning left. Then I turn left onto a residential road. There's a little tiny cycle lane. I'm supposed to use it, that chicane, so I do. It's usually parked cars across there. And I now am finishing my journey. Thank you for watching. That was about 5 miles from City Hospital to Lady Bay. Took about half an hour. Thank you.